If you enjoyed my previous tutorials but prefer a smoother finish, you've come to the right place. Hello crafters, welcome to Anjurisa's crafting room. In this video, we'll make another boxy pouch, which is a perfect size for storing your everyday essentials. If you're new to sewing, I recommend starting with my previous tutorial. Yes, it has the seam at the bottom, but it's easier to make. This time, we'll make another one with seamless bottom. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Let's get started by making the zipper pull, a small piece of fabric that helps us open and close the zipper. We'll need two of these. I already got one ready, so I will show you how to make another one. Grab a piece of fabric that measures 2 by 4 inches. I'm using cotton fabric for this zipper pull. Fold the fabric in half, then press it flat. You will see the folding line. Fold the fabric towards the center, then fold it in half again and press it flat. After that, sew 2 lines along the edge of the fabric. Now that we have 2 pieces for the zipper pull, let's put them aside for the moment. Next, get 2 pieces of fabric for the lining, each measuring 12 by 8 inches. With the right sides together, fold a straight line and leave an opening about 4 inches wide. Press the seam open to make sure that everything is nice and flat. Then prepare the outer fabric of the same size as the lining after it's been sewn. Your seam allowance on the lining fabric doesn't matter much on this step. Just make sure to prepare outer fabric the same size as your lining fabric. Next, grab a zipper slightly longer than the fabric to make sewing easier. A 14 or 16 inch zipper works perfectly. Arrange the fabric with the lining fabric right side up, zipper head facing up. Finally, add the main fabric with the right side facing down. If you are new to sewing, use fabric clips to secure all the layers in place. Sew through all layers, and for this part, I'm using a zipper presser foot. After sewing, flip the fabric over so we can see the right side. Press the fabric to remove any wrinkles, which will make sewing easier. I'm using canvas for the outer fabric, which doesn't require much ironing, so I just press it lightly. Then top stitch along the edge of the zipper. I'll continue using my zipper presser foot for this step. After top stitching, fold the fabric over to the other side of the zipper, aligning both the main fabric and lining fabric. Secure all layers with fabric clips. Then sew this part once more. You may need to unzip the zipper to make turning the fabric easier. Press the fabric once again before top stitching the other side of the zipper. Now we can move on to the top stitching. Using a longer zipper makes it easier to top stitch this part. Zip the zipper halfway. Then take the zipper pull we made at the beginning. Fold it in half and attach it to the middle of the zipper. Use fabric clip to secure in place. Repeat the same process on the other zipper pull. Sew this part to secure the zipper pulls, being careful not to catch the fabric on the back side. Now I will switch back using the regular presser foot. With the zipper unzipped and separated, it's really helpful to sew the zipper end before attaching the second zipper pull. This makes attaching the zipper pull much easier. Now you may need to unzip a little and turn the fabric inside out. Next, mark the center of the main fabric. Fold it in half and cut a little to create a small notch. This is the exact center that we are creating. Repeat this step on the other side. Fold to mark the center, then cut to create a little notch. Position the zipper in the middle, then align the seam on the lining fabric with the zipper and match the notch on the main fabric. Use fabric clips to secure everything in place. Repeat this process on the other side, aligning the seam with the zipper and matching the notch. Use fabric clips to secure. If you are adding your own label, now is the time to do so. I'll keep the label hidden, so I will place it on the lining fabric. Then we are going to sew this part. If you're enjoying this tutorial and want to support my work, be sure to check out my Etsy for more exclusive patterns. Your visit and feedback are greatly appreciated as I continue to update my Etsy. Click the link in the description below to explore. From this point onward, the step will be the same as in my previous video. So let us continue from here. After sewing both sides, trim the excess fabric and zipper. This step greatly reduces bulkiness in the final project, so I strongly recommend not skipping it. Be careful not to cut through the sewing thread while trimming. Next, from the opening, unzip the zipper and turn the fabric through the opening and the zipper, so the right side is facing out. The 4-inch opening will make it easy to turn it inside out. Use something pointy like a chopstick or a brush to push out the corner. Even though we will need to turn the fabric inside out after this, it's important to make sure that everything is nice and flat, so press the fabric lightly. Then turn the fabric so the lining is facing outward. Pushing the corners here will be much easier. To quickly close the gap here, sew close to the edge. However, for a more professional finish, you can use invisible stitch just like I did in my short video here. It's a technique where you sew along the folded edge of the fabric to join two pieces together. Yes, it can be time consuming, but the result is worth the effort. I receive a lot of complaints about using invisible stitch in my sewing projects. But remember, if you prefer a quicker method, simply sew a straight line near the edge of the fabric. And see, it's totally hidden. This is what I love about invisible stitch. It's literally invisible. Now let's give our boxy pouch its shape by working on all four corners. Position the seam in the middle. Make sure that the fabric forms a 90-degree angle and the seam sits at a 45-degree angle in the center. Measure 2 inches from the corner. Then draw a straight line perpendicular to the seam. We are going to sew exactly on this line. Sewing the corner like this gives the fabric that cool boxy shape, when you look at it from the outside, of course. So just repeat the same thing on the other 3 corners. So we form the fabric to 90 degrees and measure 2 inches from the corner on the seam and draw a straight line perpendicular to the seam. Actually, it will be much easier if you have a transparent ruler like this. It has a line at a 45 degree. But let's just assume that we are all beginners, which we don't have that kind of rulers. After sewing all 4 corners, you can leave it just like that. With no exposed seam, everything will be neatly tucked inside the pouch. Now go ahead and turn the pouch inside out. Push out any corners. And voila, our gorgeous boxy pouch with seamless bottom is finished. Thanks for following along with this tutorial. If you found it helpful, consider like and share this video. If not, feel free to hit the dislike button and leave your feedback. Any questions, drop them in the comments below. See you in my next video. Bye!